What if I told you that hitting $20,000 in your account feels nothing like you imagined it would? Most people think crossing that threshold is going to feel like fireworks and confetti and some sort of life transformation. And yeah, there's a moment of excitement, but then something else happens, something nobody warns you about. And once you understand what that something is, you will never look at money the same way again. Stick with me, because by the end of this video, I'm going to show you exactly what shifts mentally, financially, and psychologically when you cross that $20,000 mark, and more importantly, how to use those shifts to accelerate everything that comes after. This is not a hype video. This is the real conversation that should be happening, but almost never does. So let's start at the beginning. You've probably already heard that the first $1,000 is the hardest. And if you've been watching this channel for a while, you know that something genuinely changes when you hit $10,000. But $20,000? That is a completely different animal. And the reason most people never talk about what happens at this level is because the changes are subtle, they're psychological, they're structural, and they sneak up on you. Here is the first thing that happens. Your relationship with risk completely transforms. When you had $0 saved, every financial decision felt like survival. When you hit $5,000, you started breathing a little easier. At $10,000, you noticed you could handle a small emergency without panicking. But at $20,000, something deeper shifts. You start thinking differently about opportunities. You stop asking yourself, can I afford to take this chance? And you start asking yourself, what is the actual cost of not taking it? That is a fundamental rewiring of your financial psychology, and it is incredibly powerful. But here's the part people miss. That shift in risk thinking can go two ways. It can push you toward calculated, intelligent moves that grow your wealth exponentially, or it can push you toward overconfidence, toward thinking that because you've built something, you know how to build anything, and that overconfidence is where a lot of people at the $20,000 mark actually start losing ground. They take on risks that aren't properly calculated. They confuse momentum with skill, and then they wonder why the account stops growing. So the first lesson is this. At $20,000, you have to get very honest with yourself about what actually got you here. Was it discipline? Was it a specific strategy? Was it income? Was it a combination? Because whatever built the first $20,000 is probably not going to be the exact same thing that builds the next $20,000. The game is changing underneath your feet, whether you realize it or not. Let's talk about the second shift. Your time perspective changes dramatically. Below $20,000, most people are focused on the next 30 to 60 days. How much can I save this month? How do I get through this bill? How do I get to the next paycheck? That short time horizon is completely rational when you don't have a cushion. But at $20,000, for the first time, you actually have the psychological space to start thinking in years. And this is where compound interest stops being a concept you understand intellectually and starts becoming something you feel viscerally. Here's what I mean. When you have $200 invested, watching it grow feels almost meaningless. The numbers barely move. But when you have $20,000 in the market, or in a high-yield account, or in assets that generate returns, suddenly you can actually see the compounding happening in real time. You might log in one month and notice you gained $400 without doing anything. That moment is not just exciting, it is psychologically transformational, because for the first time, you understand in your gut that money can work harder than you do, and that changes how you value your time. And this is where the third major shift kicks in. You start developing what I call an asset versus liability radar. Before $20,000, most people are just trying to keep their heads above water. They buy things because they need them or because they want them. The distinction between an asset and a liability is theoretical, but once you hit $20,000 and you've genuinely felt what it means to have money working for you, every purchase decision changes. You walk into a store and your brain automatically starts calculating opportunity cost, not in an obsessive, joyless way, but in a natural, almost instinctive way. You start asking, what else could this money be doing for me? Now, I want to be real with you here because I don't want this to sound like I'm telling you to never enjoy money. That is not the message. The message is that at $20,000, you develop a clarity about intentional spending that you simply didn't have before. You stop buying things accidentally. You stop leaking money in small ways that add up to huge amounts over time. And that clarity is honestly one of the most valuable things you can build at this stage. But wait, there is a shadow side to all of this that we need to talk about, because as your awareness grows, so does your anxiety. This is something almost nobody discusses when they talk about hitting financial milestones. When you have $20,000, you suddenly have 20,000 reasons to worry. What if the market crashes? What if I lose my job? What if there's an emergency that wipes this out? That anxiety is completely normal. In fact, it's a sign that you actually understand the value of what you've built. But if you let it control you, it becomes paralysis. And paralysis at this stage is just as dangerous as recklessness. The way you manage that anxiety is through what I call the fortress mentality. And this is where $20,000 becomes genuinely powerful if you structure it correctly. Your first goal at this level should be making sure that a portion of what you have is completely untouchable emergency money. Not invested, not tied up in anything that takes time to access, just liquid, boring, safe money sitting in a high-yield savings account doing its quiet job. Ideally, somewhere between 3 to 6 months of your actual expenses. For a lot of people hitting $20,000, that means roughly $12,000 to $15,000 in true emergency reserves, with the remaining $5,000 to $8,000 deployed into something that grows. And once you have that fortress built, something remarkable happens to your psychology. The anxiety drops significantly, not because the risks go away, but because you know you have a wall between you and the worst-case scenario. And from behind that wall, you can actually start taking smarter, more confident, offensive moves with your money. Now let's talk about something that is genuinely underrated at this stage. Your network and your conversations change. When you have nothing, financial conversations feel irrelevant or even painful. But once you hit 20,000, you naturally start gravitating toward people who are having real discussions about wealth building, investing, income streams, and long-term thinking. And this is not just a nice side effect. This is a wealth multiplier that most people completely overlook. The conversations you have and the people you spend time with will directly shape the decisions you make. At $20,000, you are standing at a fork in the road. One path leads to people who will help you think bigger and build smarter. The other path leads back to old habits and old thinking. Choose very deliberately. Here's another thing that changes, and this one is a little uncomfortable to say out loud. Your relationship with other people's financial opinions starts to shift. When you're broke or struggling, it's easy to absorb everyone else's beliefs about money. Money is the root of evil. Rich people are greedy. You can't get ahead with connections. But once you've actually built something through your own decisions and discipline, you start developing your own financial identity. And that is incredibly liberating. You stop needing permission to think about money differently. You stop apologizing for wanting more. And you start building what I call a personal financial philosophy that actually fits your life and your goals. So let me bring this all together for you. $20,000 is not just a number. It is a threshold into a new relationship with money itself. Your risk thinking expands, your time horizon extends, your asset radar turns on, your anxiety requires management, your network evolves, and your personal financial identity starts to solidify. Every single one of these shifts is an opportunity, but only if you see them for what they are. Most people hit this level and just keep doing what they were doing, unaware that the whole landscape has changed. The people who build real wealth are the ones who recognize these inflection points and adapt to them intentionally. They don't just let success happen to them. They understand the new game they're playing, and they adjust their strategy accordingly. So here is my challenge to you. Whether you're at $20,000 right now, working towards it, or already past it, I want you to ask yourself one honest question. Has your strategy evolved as your wealth has grown, or are you still playing the same game you were playing when you started? Because the answer to that question will tell you everything about where you're headed next. Drop your answer in the comments. I read every single one. And if this video gave you a new way of thinking about where you are in your journey, make sure you hit subscribe because the next video is going to take everything we talked about today to an entirely different level.